What's good? What's good? What's good? What is good, family? This is DJ's Raw and Cut Truth, giving you the raw content that you deservedly need. Man, LaMelo Ball, he did it today. His shot wasn't falling. I mean, he did attack. He shot it 17 times. It just wouldn't fall through. But the one thing I appreciate about LaMelo, he's going to find a way to try to get a W. He's going to find a way to will his team to victory. Uh, I was a little bit worried heading into the late in the second quarter because I knew the Wizards had depth. If you look at their roster, it's pretty easy to say that the Wizards' depth is better than the Hornets' depth. It's not even close. That was a problem. But the Hornets showed me something. They showed me that if the starters play a lot of minutes and they play hard like that against all teams in their schedule, they can win more than what they're expected to win, but also they can lose more if they do not come out with that same grit. Looking at all the minutes right now, the only player that did not play, there's two players that did not play more than, more than 30 minutes or close to 30 minutes. Plumlee played 26 minutes, and Gordon Hayward, shockingly, played 25 minutes. Gordon Hayward was terrible in this game. He shot 5 for 14 field goals. He didn't provide anything on defense. Now, here on Raw Truth, I'm going to keep it real with y'all. We don't sugarcoat over here, and I don't work for a media conglomerate, so you know it comes from the best interests. Gordon Hayward, it's not a fit. He wants to play slower. The young guys want to play faster. LaMelo Ball, who's not even known as a defender, plays better defense, especially when his name is called upon, than Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward is a sloth on defense, and when the shots are not falling, he's not interested. Get the likes up. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this game. Now, here's the interview of James Borrego. Now, shout out to, let me see, what's his name? Now, this is a good channel to get interviews. Shout out to Daily Hornets Minute Podcast. Subscribe to his channel. The brother is on it with the interviews. So if you want to look at interviews, go to Daily Hornets Podcast. But this is what James Borrego had to say. And then I'm going to chime in.
We were just having trouble getting to the rim against their size and their length and finishing. So that lineup of Melo, Cody Martin, Kelly, Jalen, and Miles really turned the game. And it was both. It was both sides of the ball. We were scoring, and we were able to get our zone set. I think that was a big part of turning this game was our efficiency in the zone. But it was both things. Defensively getting stops, getting out running.
Let me correct him there. The zone, I know he's a head coach. I'm not a head coach in the NBA. But the zone wasn't the reason why they came back. The effort on defense. They could have played man, 2-man, 3-2 zone. It doesn't matter. The effort, the passion that the players had tonight is why they won this game. So, JB, I know you want to give yourself a pat on the head and say the zone is the reason why we won. No, it's not. Stop the cap. Shout out to TB. Make sure you share this video, everyone. Share it to everybody you know. Like this video because we're keeping it real tonight. This is a celebration. LaMelo with a career high 14 assists. Now I'm going to continue the interview of Coach James Borrego. Again, this is from the channel called Daily Hornets Minute Podcast. So these are the brothers with the interview.
The ball started to move, and the spacing, I think, cleaned up as we went small. So that group deserves a ton of credit. I mean, Cody Martin, 0 points tonight, plus 20, 2 blocks. Kelly Oubre, 2 blocks. Nick Richards had some big blocks in there. I think he had 2 as well, protecting the rim. Made some very unselfish plays. And then you got to give Mason credit. I don't think he had a rebound at halftime, and he finished with 13. So did a good job on the board. And just our overall energy and efficiency was much better at that point.
The offense kind of struggled. You guys, I think it's the first one you have in scoring 100 points, but how encouraging you not only to be a team's caliber, but to do so when things maybe weren't necessarily clicking the first half of the game and you won thanks to your defense.
Well, we talked about that again this morning. I think you look back to the 3 previous games. We've won those games with our defense, and same thing tonight. Our defense is what kept us in this game. It sustained us. Historically, this would have been a 15-point loss had we not scored our normal output. But tonight, our defense just stayed with it. Even in the second quarter, it didn't look great. We still sustained, a 22-point quarter. Obviously, the third quarter, 14, and then we matched it another 22. So this game was won with our defense. This is the identity we got to continue to form. We're not there, but to win in this league consistently, you got to bring your defense, and that's what's put us in position to win these last few.
Now back-to-back wins against 2 top teams record-wise in the NBA. What does it say about your team to put it back-to-back games like this against 2 top teams?
Well, we're growing, we're getting better. I think we're building an identity and starting to understand what wins in this league, and our group is taking ownership of that. So I'm proud of the group for the last 2 wins, but I'm more proud of the growth and the movement and the momentum we have right now, what we're trying to build here. So the goal here is not to be complacent. The goal is here to build off of these wins and get better. If we're complacent with these last couple wins, next week could look a lot different for us. The goal and the challenge here is to sustain it and get better along the way, and that's our challenge, even going into tomorrow's practice.
And then with Lamelo, another one of those games where he shoot the ball well, we talked with it after the game.
Yeah.
Career 14 assists. You might be looking to do that much out there. Can you just explain, I guess, what it's like to have to contribute the way he does lately when he's not scoring the ball?
Well, he impacts the game in so many ways. He can score. Tonight, career high in assists, moving the ball. The other night, 17 rebounds. The kid, finds ways to impact winning. And even when his shot's not falling, he's stuck with it. He was defending on the other end. He was digging out some rebounds and then obviously moving the ball. So, I think these are 2 examples of his impact on winning is the board. Some nights, sometimes it's moving and sharing the ball. Sometimes it's scoring. It's whatever it takes. And
So James Borrego, one thing you had correct is LaMelo's going to find a way to win whatever it takes. My only thing is, JB, are you going to trust LaMelo when his shot is going? And even if his shot is not going, are you going to allow LaMelo to be the full identity of this team? Every point guard in the league who has a lot of ability is somewhat the face of their team. Will you trust LaMelo to do that, JB? That's all I gotta ask of you. Are you gonna trust him? Like TB says, LaMelo's jumper wasn't hidden, but LaMelo still produced a good all-around game. That is facts. And you can't say he wasn't aggressive because he took 17 shots. But he took 18 shots, correct. LaMelo took 18 shots, but he still, had 14 assists, and he was very key on the Hornets gaining that lead against the Wizards. And you know how talented the Wizards are. Shout out to the homie Rap God. Shout out to Simone CeeLo Ray. He said Melo be balling. Facts. Rap God said the Ball brothers played well tonight. Don't get me started on the Bulls game. That Bulls game, and this is about the Hornets. But the Bulls, they lost to the Portland Trailblazers because they didn't push the pedal to the metal in that third quarter. I knew it once they was being passive in that third quarter. Now in the fourth quarter, they turned it up a notch, but it was too late. Osmond says Melo was a floor general. He sure was. That's what leadership looks like. So I'm going to finish this interview with James Borrego, and then I'll show and again, this is the Daily Hornets Minute podcast. So after this interview from James Borrego, I'm gonna give my final take on his interview and then the Miles Bridges interview.
That's why he's such a special player.
I know that you've always been very insistent on your small ball play. How surprised are you that you were able to sustain this play without PJ with these small ball lineups?
Well, we've not played Miles a lot at 5 historically. We've played PJ primarily at the 5. We've put more length out there. Bringing Jalen into the mix, I think, has helped because you add another 6'10" frame out there in length to help Miles out there on the board. But I didn't anticipate playing Miles this much 5 small ball going into the season. This has just evolved because of the injuries, and so far I like it.
Plus minus is a quirky stat. Cody was a plus 20 in 26 minutes. How much of that is just his defense and the way that he impacts the game on that side of the floor?
It doesn't surprise me. That's classic Cody right there. 0 points, plus 20. Excellent defense in the right spots, making plays, making winning plays, end of the quarter, big time block. But there's so much in the stat sheet that doesn't go into what Cody does for us to impact winning. So he was fantastic tonight.
Coach, you talked a little bit about Dylan McDaniels. Just what growth have you seen from him since last year? What do you think he can give you guys moving forward?
Well, kind of what he gave us tonight, 3 for 7 from 3. I want him to shoot the ball. I trust his 3. But it starts with his defense, the length, the versatility, the rebounding. The guy knows when to hit the boards on both sides of the ball. He crashes, gets us extra possessions. He boxes out every single time. His role is to come in and impact winning, is what I say to the bench, and he's got that ability. With the biggest growth I've seen him take is just in his overall decision-making on the floor with the ball. Either he catches and shoots it or he puts it on the ground. I don't see a lot of bad shots being taken. I don't see a lot of turnovers. For me as a coach, I trust him more. And he's having a major impact on the defense. This turn in our defense, he's a part of that, a major part of that. So that's got to continue.
You guys also had 0 free throws at the half. What went into that was just what they were giving you guys defensively.
Do you want me to answer that? Do you really want me to answer that?
I get you, Joel, but was it what they were going defensively? You guys were going just a little bit of everything?
I'll watch the film. I do think part of it is their defense. If you look at their numbers, that's the one thing they do give up is free throws, I believe, unless could be wrong. But I think that's one thing they give up is they allow their opponents to get to the free throw line. Why we didn't get there, I don't know. I'll watch the film and try to figure it out. We had a number of bunnies at the rim. It's not like we weren't getting to the rim. I can think of 4 right now off the top of my head where we got to the rim and had literally layups that just rimmed out for some reason. So we just got to stick with that. And
So that was the interview by James Borrego. And again, shout out to Daily Hornets Minute Podcast. If you want your Hornets interviews, that's the place you want to go. They're efficient, quick, and they be doing their thing. So shout out to those brothers out there. Let me read some of these comments before I do the Miles Bridges interview and then chime in. Blunt Dog, what's good, my brother? Peace and blessings to you. Also, we got 40 plus people in the chat. Make sure you hit the like button and share the video. He said, my son is having trouble making weight for his upcoming fight. Haven't been able to chime in lately. Much love and respect, brother DJ. Hey, man, that's important, man. That I'm sure that bond with your son is a joy, and wishing him blessings on his fight. I hope he wins, and that's dope to hear right there. Rap God says Hornets need an identity. Yes, even though they won, they gotta show in the next couple of games that they have team identity. Not this sometimes basketball. Sometimes basketball is the type of basketball a team plays when certain players are like, sometimes I get this ball, sometimes I'm the scorer, sometimes I'm the main facilitator. They need to stop it. Move the ball with the point guard. Let it be Lamelo'S team. That's why you drafted him. And I'm not just saying this because I'm a fan of LaMelo. I'm saying this because this is how teams are run right. See, I didn't say this. If you look at the book of basketball in the 21st century, you will see build your team around your point guard. That's why when a highly touted point guard is drafted, he's usually drafted number one. You rarely see a big man drafted number one in today's basketball. Tell me if I'm lying. You'll get your non-big men like Zion, who is a versatile forward. So there's two players in the draft you'll draft number one, most likely. A point guard and a legit small forward that's a multi-versatile scorer. Shout out to the homie Pierre. He said, salute, DJ. Peace and blessings, brother. I'm glad you're on. Kamante says assists are just like scoring for him. Oh, man. LaMelo was like Chef Boyardee today, man. He was serving them assists. I'm glad the players were finishing, too. That's the most important part. But, man, everybody was eating today. You remember Paid in Full? Everybody eats B. That's what LaMelo's game was like tonight. Every assist he passed today, it was like everybody eats B. Pierre says LaMelo was plus 19. Oh, yeah. Efficiency, even on a bad shooting night. See, y'all see the difference between a LaMelo 11-point game and others? If LaMelo has 11 points, it's not because he's taking few shots. It's most likely that his shots are not falling. But what does he do at the game if his shot's not falling? He's down hit. He keeps his head down. He attacks the basket. When you attack the basket, you get more assists. You get more assists by doing it. This is not rocket science. Blood Dog 513 says, everybody eats, B. That's what it was like today. Everybody eats. Rap Guy said he had Alonzo-esque performance. Passing wise, yes, but the assists were different. And like I stated on the show, LaMelo was able to have 14 assists because he was driving to the paint. If LaMelo was not driving to the paint, he would not have 14 assists. That's the difference. The defense from LaMelo Ball was fantastic. LaMelo used his wingspan and his size to alter shots. I truly believe that LaMelo has high-level defensive potential. It's just, it takes time. And people forget LaMelo does get a lot of steals. He just has to work on defensive positioning. Osmond says the third quarter lineup who went on that run, LaMelo, Miles Bridges, Martin, Jalen, and Kelly Oubre, they need to use that lineup more in the future. They do. And Gordon Hayward through each game is looking worthless. Now, he'll show up against a weak team. See, when Gordon Hayward plays a weak team, just know he'll show up. But if Gordon Hayward is playing a team like the Washington Wizards, who were winning and winning at a high level, they were number one seed in the East. They still are. That's the crazy part. The Washington Wizards, despite this loss, is still the number one seed in the East. But this was a weird game for the Wizards. Spencer Dinwiddie had 0 points. I repeat, Spencer Dinwiddie had 0 points. Now, this is an athlete that scores 17 points per game. Brother, it's unacceptable. Very unacceptable. Excuse me. But unacceptable. If Dinwiddie did not have just 0 points, give example. If he had 10 points, it's a tie game. Kyle Kuzma, 5 points. That's not going to cut it. But here's this interview with Miles Bridges.
It's just our defense. Like I keep preaching defense, but it's winning us games. You know, we held them to 14 in the third, 22 in the fourth. Really, after the first quarter, we really locked in on our defense and it got us going. So as long as we stay focused, do what we need to do on the defensive end, I feel like we have a great chance of winning every night.
This is back-to-back wins over two of the top teams in the league, Golden State, Wizards on the top of Eastern Conference. What does it do for you guys' confidence that you before?
I mean, it's a lot. I mean, the Warriors, they're the hottest team coming in. The Wizards were the hottest team in the East. So for us to get wins, that just shows what we're capable of when everybody's focused. So like I said, as long as we stay focused, we'll be a tough team to beat.
Then you got Melo, man. We got a very high coaching system. He uses the ball very well.
Mhm.
What do you see from out there?
I mean, that's what he does. I mean, he could score the ball very well, but he's really a pass first point guard. He sees the floor like no other. So I'm happy. I'm happy to.
I have to pause that right there. I disagree with Miles. I don't think LaMelo is a pass first point guard. I think he's an overall point guard who has the ability to pass. Again, the reason why I'm pointing that out, I would not let this organization try to pigeonhole LaMelo to be one-dimensional. I'm not trying to let that happen. So when they say pass first, nah. And there was a video of LaMelo. It was an interview. You remember it was years ago. I think it was JJ or somebody called him a pass first. And LaMelo was like, I ain't no pass first point guard, dog. So the best description of LaMelo is he's your modern day point guard who's a jack of all trades. He could pass really good at an elite level, but his scoring is key. Haji John, he said, DJ, what would you call John Luca? Are they pass first? John Luca are modern day point guards. They're versatile guards. John Moran is a combo guard. That's what John Moran is. John Morant's a combo guard, and Luca is not a point guard. Luca is a dual forward. A dual forward has the ability to play point guard, but they're really a small forward.
I'm happy to be playing with Melo. He finds everybody. He literally knows everybody's spot where somebody needs the ball at, and at the right time. So, like I said, I'm happy to play with Melo, and he should be having these type of nights damn near every night.
Of course, Miles Bridges will say that. Hey, Miles, I like your game, bro, and I hope you get the bag. I know you're going to get the bag, but of course you would want him to have games like that every time. I got no problem with what he said, but yeah, for him personally, if LaMelo has the 14 assist type of games, that's more buckets for him without him trying to do too much. So it's a win-win situation. But I see what you did there, Miles. I see what you did there. No problem at all. But I don't blame you. You got to get that bag, brother.
Yeah, I mean, he just brings a lot of intensity, and he hits shots when we need him. He brings a lot of intensity on defense. He's clutch shots. He's just a great teammate, so it's good to have him back on the floor.
In terms of, I think JB said he wasn't expecting to play with the five as much, but the injured PJ has kind of forced that. Are you surprised that you guys are still able to play small with you at the five, and it's kind of those different combinations?
Yeah, I mean, I love playing the five. I mean, I could create for my teammates at the five. When Mason or Nick is in foul trouble, just me setting the screen, getting to the middle of the floor, and my decision making. I mean, that's what I worked on this whole summer. So just me putting it to work during the game is really helping us.
Did they try to slow you guys down at all with their pace? I know that they play more of a deliberate style, and it probably tested your half-court offense a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's what slowed us down in the first. But like I said, our defense turned into our offense. So we got going in the third with guys like Kelly, Cody. Cody didn't even score today, and what was he? Plus 20. So that just shows the impact he has on his game. He didn't have to score the ball. So those type of guys, they just get us going. Nick had 2 big blocks. Mason was getting big rebounds. Jalen came in, got a lot of rebounds. So we got guys that can impact the game without scoring. So that's what we need.
Nick has really kind of been a revelation for you guys coming off the bench. How much of that is just due to just growth during the offseason and just continued improvement there?
I mean, he's just a big body, 7 foot. He really can shoot the ball. You haven't seen that yet, but he can shoot the ball. We just got to work on his decision making. He blocks a lot of shots, get a lot of rebounds, and I kind of took him underneath my wing, just trying to teach him how to be aggressive against fives, how to box him out, get rebounds, be smart, make smart plays. I think when Nick start making smart plays, he's going to be really dangerous for us.
Coach Burris of the Jalen's kind of the visionary group for him has been decision making. Is that something that you see as well? And what kind of spark do you think you provide for this?
I mean, I love Jalen. He has a lot of length. He's great on the defensive end, rebounding, and you can see he can hit shots. So, how many threes did he make today? 3. Yeah, I mean, was it 3? It was 3. 3 for 3. Man, yeah, Jalen's doing a great job. He's just playing his role. He's exceeding in his role. I'm happy to see him playing. I mean, because he's a good guy, good teammate. So I'm happy.
And I'm back. So that was Miles Bridges. Again, shout out to the Daily Hornets Minute podcast for the interviews. Hit the like button, everybody. The homie Juju Knows Hoops. Brother, man, you was killing it today on Flight's channel, bro. You was killing it, man. I mean, this brother is very intelligent. He knows his basketball. He studies the game. But Miles Bridges, man. Miles Bridges had a good game only because he wasn't trying to do too much and he played his role. Bridges had 17 points. He shot 8 for 15. That's where you want him at. You don't want him overshooting. Made good shots, got rebounds, and you could get paid in the NBA doing this. And I hope Miles understands that. Miles played 37 minutes. But back to Gordon Hayward. Shout out to the homie Flight Sports TV, man. What's good, brother? Man, I'm disappointed, man, on the Bulls. I thought they should have won that game. I knew they kept that. I knew they kept that match too close in that third quarter. I was telling myself, you got to put that team away. But it'll be a learning experience for the Bulls. So I got my dog Juju Knows Hoops in here.
Yes,
Brother,
man. What's good, OG? What's going on?
You're on fire, brother, man. You doing all these shows today, bro. Salute to you, man.
Man, yes, sir. You know, I gotta have my people back, man. Shout out Flight Sports TV, man. Shout out RawTruth. You already know, man. Meloholic, stand up. Let's go.
Yeah. And brother, you know what's so great about these YouTube channels like this and your channel and Flight Sports and the Pope and everybody else? It's the underground of basketball content, ball family content, all around content. So the people resonate to our channels because they know we don't sugarcoat crap. See, we don't work for no media conglomerate, so we just say it from the hip. Like if you say something about James Borrego, ain't nobody gonna stop your channel. You feel me? So these things are so important, brother. I'm gonna give you the floor. What do you think about the game against the Hornets? Because you was turned up, bro. You was turned up. Jude, are you there?
But I was on mute. I forgot I was on mute. My bad. Yeah. That was a crazy game, DJ, and it's crazy. The Hornets have had so many close games this season. It's been very entertaining. And, you know, LaMelo Ball, man, he's just special. Even when he's not scoring the basketball at a high level, even when his shot's not falling, the shots that usually go in, you know, the little floaters, the little layups, when the shots aren't even falling, this man just makes a difference. He just brings an impact that is different. 14 assists. And what y'all got to understand is he controlled the tempo of the game the whole time. Like in the third quarter, when they actually started taking over the game from the Wizards, it was because of LaMelo Ball's passing, because of LaMelo Ball's infectiousness as a passer, his unselfishness, and it started flowing throughout the whole team. Now we got Miles making the extra pass. We got Oubre making the extra pass. Terry Rozier. Those type of qualities in LaMelo Ball feeds on the whole team, and it makes everybody better. And we saw tonight, JB actually gave LaMelo the leeway to go out there and not only make mistakes, but not take him out the game for his mistakes. He actually gave LaMelo Ball the floor to go out there and do what he needed to do. And I was very pleased with how JB, handled LaMelo Ball's minutes in the fourth quarter. When he saw the Wizards started to make a comeback in the fourth quarter when they took LaMelo Ball out the game, that's when we saw, JB enter LaMelo Ball back, and he started making an impact with his passing ability, and that's why he had 14 assists. So it was kind of a weird game too, because everybody wasn't really flowing. Terry Rozier had an off night, Bridges kind of had an off night, LaMelo had an off night, so it wasn't there all the way. But all in all, man, it was because JB trusted in LaMelo Ball, even when he had a bad game. That's the biggest difference that I saw tonight, man. Shout out JB.
Yeah, JB, credit to him. So it's good news. We'll give JB credit. He trusted LaMelo, and if he didn't play LaMelo 30 plus minutes, I think almost 37 minutes, they would not have won. Shout out for that. But you know where Gordon Hayward is at, right? Right, brother?
Seems like he in the gulag right now. I don't know where he at.
I'm gonna tell you where Gordon Hayward is at.
On deck for what? For what? That upper room, nigga. The upper room with Jesus. You know what that is? The upper room the motherfucker be singing about? The upper room. Yeah, that's right. Tell you what, you die first, I'm gonna sing at your funeral. I'm gonna just bust up in the motherfucker and go to the upper room. Let him shoot me. I don't give a fuck that.
Yeah, that brother's in the upper room. He looks old, slow, lethargic. If he's not getting buckets, he's a waste of time. And guess what, Juju? He played 30, not 30. Gordon Hayward played 25 minutes. So Gordon Hayward shot 4 for 14, didn't want to defend. James Bregel, to his credit, yanked him and put him on the bench and said, I don't need you ruining the chemistry and flow of this team. What do you think about that, brother?
That was facts. Their small ball unit with McDaniels, Miles Bridges, LaMelo, Terry Rozier, and even either Cody Martin or Oubre was very effective tonight. I love that defenses, like that lineup, that defense from that lineup. Just the teamwork defensively, the rotations, the help defense, the communication, man, with that small ball lineup with Gordon Hayward on the bench was just fantastic, man. We started getting stops down in the fourth quarter, and that's what won us the game. And I don't know if you heard, DJ, but they said something about Gordon Hayward had like some type of hamstring injury from last game, and that was one of the reasons because last game he only played like 25 minutes as well. And they were saying it was because he had a hamstring injury or something of that nature. So I don't know if that's what played a part into it, but whatever it was, Gordon Hayward being on that bench is what won us the game, man. Let's go.
Yeah. And I hope if it's an injury, I hope Gordon Hayward gets better. But what do they always say? If you're playing, it counts.
Right.
So if you're injured and playing, it counts. And what we saw is a player who did not want to defend because his shots were not falling. The body language tells all. I see y'all laughing about the upper. Hamstring discomfort. So Jonathan Williams says hamstring discomfort. Read some more of these comments.
Comments going crazy. Shout out HL Kid in the chat, man, my guy.
Yeah, shout out to HL Kid. That's the dude right there. Osmond says JB is starting to realize that they don't need Hayward. They don't. And there's another good comment, brother. Slack says, DJ, if Gordon doesn't perform, how they going to get rid of him? We all want him to perform so they could trade him out. But Gordon Hayward he got to want it more than the people that wants it for him. You see? He's got to want to be a dog. We can't beg him to be a dog. Some people have it and some people don't. And what have I always said about Gordon Hayward? If it's a good team, it shall not be. Let me repeat that. If it's a good team, it shall not be. Meaning he will never show up against a good team unless it's his lucky day. But for some reason, he's allergic to performing against talented teams.
Totally right. And I just don't think the contract that he's getting or any of that warrants him to get as many shots as he does. It messes up the flow of the offense. Um, Gordon did kind of play pretty well against the Warriors, I would say, but like you said, DJ, is very on and off. And it's been plenty of games this season where if only Hayward would have really showed up, like against the Boston Celtics, a couple other games, we would have won those games. I mean, we can't leave all of the offensive load on, two 20-year-olds, like 20-year-old LaMelo, 23-year-old Miles Bridges. We're going to need our veterans to step up. And lately, Terry Rozier has been stepping up. But we need that consistent play from Gordon Hayward, man, or, I don't know how we're going to trade him, honestly. I mean, if he's playing this bad, I mean, unless we're going to, attach something else to the contract or whatever, or to him on the way out, I don't know what we're going to do with Gordon.
I got an option, a way for the Hornets to rectify this with Gordon Hayward. If I was the Hornets, now the Hornets got too much pride. That's their problem. I would take up some of that contract. I'm sure some team can use him, especially a slow, methodical team. So I will promise them, hey, we take a big piece of Gordon Hayward's contract. Now, if you're the Hornets, hey, everybody catches their L's. Overpaying Gordon Hayward is an L. Take the L and move on. If you make this move, this will be one of the best beneficial moves for LaMelo in the Hornets organization. You will tell LaMelo, by doing that, it tells LaMelo that we're trying to build around you. You are a point guard. You're a franchise player. See, players remember this. So when he makes that decision, when his free agency comes, he'll think, wait a minute, this organization has done everything for me. I owe them a couple more years. Some players think like that.
Right.
But y'all better do something, Hornets. Like, for these next couple of years, you better do something. Because the LA teams, they're going to be vying for his services.
Yep. LaMelo could very easily be out of there, especially, seeing how they're going to, handle Jello as well. A lot of these little situations with, who they sign, maybe if they don't re-sign Miles Bridges this summer, that might be another thing LaMelo is looking at, like, nah, I got to get up out of here. So, yeah, you want to do everything in your power to appease LaMelo Ball. And we can kind of see on the court, it's a little bit of a dynamic with, Gordon Hayward versus LaMelo Ball. Now, obviously, LaMelo Ball is the unselfish player. He's going to find a way to make it work. But we're seeing that forcing the ball into Gordon Hayward's hands messes up the flow of the offense, and it also takes other players out of rhythm. Instead of getting the ball to Gordon Hayward 15 times a night, maybe we could get more touches to Miles Bridges, maybe get more touches to LaMelo Ball, and the team could, have better success because of those things. So I think getting rid of Gordon Hayward is the best option right now. And, I'm still looking at Indiana, like we've been saying for, maybe a month now. We need to get Miles Turner up in here and see what we can do.
Oh, I like that Miles Turner pick, man. Anybody, I mean, Mo Bamba of Orlando. Bro, you know I'm telling the truth. That's a better option than anybody on the Hornets, man. Anybody on the Hornets. I mean, somebody. Plumlee is just not it. He's a reserve big. Like, as a backup, good. As a starter, no.
Right. I've been liking Nick Richards as well, DJ. Shout out to Nick Richards, man.
Oh,
Other
yeah.
than the fouls he picked up, I mean, you can see it's a clear difference with him on the court versus Miles Plumlee because of his size and his physicality. He's not scared to go up and try to block shots. He's also, he doesn't try to do too much. He doesn't try to get the ball and dribble between his legs and make all these passes. He plays his role, and I mean, he's a young, big guy that can also run the floor. That's just different from Miles Plumlee. He brings a different dynamic, and I want to see him starting quite potentially really soon, man.
You see that D. Clark says Plumlee made Gafford look like Shaq tonight. Man, he made Gafford look like the reincarnation of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It was bad. It was bad, man. But you said he made him look like Shaq Daddy tonight. Oh, man. That was beat down. brother, there's one thing I wanted to talk to you about, Jew. James Bouknight. Bouknight. Is it Book Night or Boat Night?
I think it's off night.
Off night. Well, hopefully some night he can play. Some nights he can play. He got to play more than 1 minute. I don't like this. It's not good for his development. You
Right.
drafted very high and you're wasting his talent. He had 33 points in his G League debut. It was easy to him. He wasn't supposed to be out there. JB, I get it. You don't like playing young players. But man, I'm telling you, if they just play Boat Night or Book Night more, at least 10 minutes starting out and see what you got.
Right. Well,
Bro, if he plays 10 minutes, is it really going to hurt the Hornets if Book Night plays 10 minutes?
I think so. I really do. To me, he's just. To me, he's kind of sort of like a black hole on offense. I mean, he needs the ball in his hands to be successful. Just like you pointed out in the G League, he had 33 points because they spoon fed him the ball. I just don't think he's ready right now necessarily. I mean, looking at players like Cody Martin, McDaniels, I mean, I think these are the guys that he would be fighting for. He would be fighting for minutes with those guys, and I just don't think he's nowhere near those levels right now. And I mean, I don't know, DJ. Even if
Yeah.
I don't think he should get 10 minutes. I don't think he's ready right now. And we're seeing with JB's rotation, he's really limited the rotation versus what he did last year. Last year he used to go 10, 12
Right.
deep, play the whole bench, man. And now he's only going, 8, 9 deep. And, I guess it's maybe Michael Jordan in his ear. I don't know what it is, but
Oh yeah,
you
it's
could tell it's
somebody.
different.
Yeah, shout out to Cody Martin. Cody Martin had 0 points, but he had 20 plus minus. Because
Right.
even when the shot is not on, he's giving you something. That's the difference between him and Gordon Hayward. He was more effective than Gordon Hayward. And Gordon Hayward is a $120 million man, which is pathetic. Shout out to Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre, a quick 14 points. Now, my thing on Boat Night is when there's games when they need scoring and Lamelo's not in there, that's when you put him in there for a couple minutes just to get a bucket. Because there's times when the Hornets have dry spells just because LaMelo's on the bench. So that's the time you put Boat Night in there and let him cook and let him score. What do you think about that? And one thing I like about your questions, hey, everybody can disagree, but we having a discussion. I love it.
So and I definitely agree with what you're saying. The Hornets need a microwave scorer to come out. They need a Lou Will. They need a Kobe White. They need a guy that can just come off the bench and get you 15, 16, 18 on any given night, or every night in the NBA, but on any given night, he can go for 25, 30 and be that scoring punch when you need it off the bench, when you don't have it from Melo some games, or you don't have it from Hayward, or you don't have it from Terry Rozier. I do agree with you that the Hornets need that piece, but is James Bouknight that? Can he be semi that piece? I just don't think so. I mean, the jumper is something that isn't there right now. 30% from 3 in college, and in the G League, in that G League game, he did hit a lot of threes, but I don't think it would be consistent on the NBA level. Defensively, he's not there whatsoever. He's undersized, and I don't think he's going to be a plus on defense. So I don't think he can be that microwave scorer just yet. Does he have the potential to be? Yes. But I don't know. I just don't think he's ready, DJ. I think he still has a lot of things to work on, especially with his IQ, his shot selection, a lot of things that I think could hurt the Hornets if he played 10 minutes, Then
What,
instead
brother?
of giving it to Cody Martin, because Cody Martin been balling, man.
Yeah,
Give him
Cody
minutes,
Martin
Cody.
been balling.
Facts.
Brother, I respect your opinion because you provided facts. And I always say, if you provide facts, you got, I can't do but congratulate. But do you understand what I'm saying about development on certain
Facts.
games? Like a game like tonight, you could have played Boat Night 10 minutes, especially LaMelo on the bench. I mean, there was some times where they couldn't even get a bucket.
Right.
And that's why that score trust me, if for those who look at the score, right, and they see the Hornets win by 10 points, it felt like in that second half, the Hornets were winning by 20.
Right.
But it was only 10 points because they weren't getting buckets. But I do agree, Boat Knight does need to work on, common sense plays, playing with higher basketball IQ. He does need to work on that. But the G League, that's definitely not helping him out because it's easy for him.
Right.
He had that, that look, for the hoopers out there, that look is like, why am I out here? This ain't ish to me. That's the look Boat Knight had.
Right. Totally agree with you. And it's the same sort of thing that he did, how he handled LaMelo Ball last year as a rookie. You have to develop these young players in situational basketball so they can grow and learn from their mistakes. And I totally agree that, Book Knight should get some of that burn. He should get some of that opportunity because he is a lottery pick. I just think JB's in a mode right now that it seems like he's doing whatever he can for his job. Like he's playing the players he trusts the most, just like how he did last year with Devontae Graham over LaMelo Ball and some of these. He's just, playing the players that he trusts more than a lot of these young guys that have question marks surrounding them. So I think, JB is just doing something to protect his job and make the playoffs and be as successful as he can. And, it's going to be detrimental to the team and it's going to have its positives, So.
Right. What about Thunder? Shout out to Thunder. He says most people hate Boat Night because of Jello. I know that's a loaded question, my brother, but what you think about that?
I don't hate Book Knight because of Jello, but I guess you can say some of the BBB supporters
Right.
don't like Book Knight because Book Knight is being awarded an opportunity over LiAngelo Ball that you can argue that LiAngelo Ball should get that opportunity because of the way he performed in summer league, because of the way he's been brought up, because he's LaMelo's brother. So a couple of those factors do play into it, but me and you, DJ, we're objective as can be. This raw truth up here, so we gonna give
Right.
you the facts and It's not because of Jello that we don't like Book Knight. It's certain, things in his games and, certain people that were drafted after him that the Hornets could have drafted, that kind of play a part into it. But, I don't think it's that, bro.
Look, when brothers like Juju talks about Boat Knight, it's always the mental aspect of the game. It's never like other people. I know some people, and Thunder, you're spot on. There are folks who just because they're mad because Jello's not getting that same opportunity, then they're shitting on Boat Knight after like he doesn't have skill at all. When you saw what he did at the G League game, he was on full attack mode. At the end of the day, Boat Knight was a number 11 pick. And my knowledge is when you develop top 10, 11, 15 picks, you give them all the access possible to learn and grow and develop for the future. And all I'm just saying is 10 minutes doesn't hurt. Now, if it's a game where it's so close that you can't play them at all, you only playing, an 8-man bench, then I understand that. But if there's games where you need bench scoring and you tell Boat Knight, hey, we need you to get some buckets. We're going to put you in there for 10 minutes, see how you do. If you don't play within the offense, we're putting you on whatever you got to do. Develop him the right way.
Facts. And chat, nobody's saying that LiAngelo Ball was better than Book Knight in Summer League. But what everybody in here can agree to is that LiAngelo Ball definitely looked more NBA ready in Summer League than James Book Knight, especially if we're talking about both sides of the basketball, defense and offense, and also decision making. LiAngelo Ball definitely looked NBA ready. So, it's definitely people out there, the BBB-ism guys that just, get on their knees and pray to BBB. They definitely think, Jello is, should be getting those minutes over Book Knight. Hell, I think Jello should be getting those minutes over Book Knight. But that's not going to change my perspective on what Book Knight can and is as a player. But, I think Book Knight, he'll get there eventually.
Yeah, and it's common sense. We all love Jello, and we want him. Shoot, if it was our way, Jello, we want Jello to come in the NBA and score 20-plus points if it was our way. But it's not reality. Reality is Boat Knight is the higher draft pick, and he's the younger player. So they're going to get more opportunity.
Facts.
It's been like that for years. So that's just the way it is. Nazir King says, I'm tired of Coach now Miles saying we got a pass first point guard. No, we got a young star who has no problem being a pass first guard. You're not a pass first averaging 20 points per game. Facts. What you think about that, brother?
Facts. Well, I mean, it's arguable. It depends on how certain people view the NBA. Because I mean, scoring is higher than it usually is, and a lot of the best point guards in the league can easily get you, 20 more than 20 points. But yeah, easily. If you have a 20-year-old guard that's not really attempting a ton of shots and he's averaging 19 points, he can obviously do much more than just pass the ball. And that's one of my things with James Borrego as well. It seems like he's kind of handcuffing and, limiting LaMelo Ball's game from fully being unleashed because he's trying to put him in this mode of being a Jason Kidd, a Tony Parker, a Steve Nash, when in actuality, I think LaMelo Ball can be much more versatile. He can do a lot more things. And I'm not saying he's greater than those players or none of that, but the way he plays, how versatile he is with his size and his combination of being able to score the ball at will, he's much, much more than just a passing point guard, pass first point guard. He's a superstar and he can do it all on the floor.
Yes, and he's a hybrid. The term that we all got to get used to is hybrid. Hybrid is a collection of all talents and traits. Shout out to the sister Ashley Just Souls. Peace and blessings to you, and thank you for tuning in. But he's a hybrid. He could do it all. But I don't want this team to be accustomed of LaMelo only passing. He only passed this much because his shot was not on. Shots that he makes, floaters that he makes, mid-range shots that he makes were missed today. He's going to make them in the next games. So when Miles Bridges in that interview that I showed, and this is before Juju got on, where it said that, man, I hope he could pass like that all game long. That's common sense-wise, that's not going to happen. Because there's going to be some nights where he may have 20 or 30.
Right. In my opinion, to me, that hurts the team because we're seeing moments where the Hornets obviously need somebody to get them a bucket. So if you have LaMelo Ball in this mentality where you only want him to pass the ball, then it's going to kind of mess up the rhythm in his game to look to score. Because I mean, a point guard in today's league, every top point guard can score the basketball at a high level, and their coach is going to let them go out there to try to score the basketball at a high level. It's not just going to be pass first. No, you go out there and you do everything on the court. It's a positionless game nowadays. So JB has to unleash LaMelo Ball. It can't be this pass first BS. LaMelo Ball is not that, man. And like you said, he's a hybrid. Like, see, you can say all the best point guards in the league: Damian Lillard, CP3, Steph Curry. LaMelo Ball is a mixture of all of those guys. So you can't just put him in this category of being one thing when he's, much more than that, obviously.
Man, y'all cooking in the comments, man. HL Kid said, DJ, that's because we seen Book Knight was trying to ice Jello in the Summer League. That's where the hate come from.
Facts. That's true, too. Great point.
Yeah, and I didn't blame Book Knight. I think that Book Knight was he was so motivated because remember, he was supposed to be a top 5 draft pick and he slid down. So it was personal to him. I blame coaching for that Summer League debacle because a coach is trying, a coach, you should try to set the record straight. See, he should have talked to Bo Knight and said that I want you to make smart plays. I'm not worried about your score. Play within the system. He should have said that to the whole team because that was embarrassing. In the Summer League, they didn't even win a game, right, Jew?
Yeah, they're horrible. The same way they are in the G League right now.
It was a mockery. And they didn't deserve to win games because they were all playing selfish basketball.
Right. Yeah, I think a lot of the BBB guys have something against that whole Summer League team, not just Book Knight, Kai Jones as well. It is definitely a dynamic there, but we keep it objective over here for sure.
Right, right. And I understand where they're coming from, because if I had a favorite player and they're taking away his shine, I would feel some type of way too. So I understand the place they're coming from, but I also understand why a player may take all the shots, or um, why they're given a certain opportunity to non-draftees.
Crazy. Well, I mean, I don't know why Chad is clowning Leand. Like, bro, you can't clown LiAngelo Ball. I mean, he played as well as you could have in summer league, and I mean, versus a guy like Book Knight. I mean, he to me, LiAngelo Ball looked more impressive because they weren't force feeding LiAngelo Ball the way they were James Book Knight the basketball. And I mean, I think that's another thing that kind of plays into it, DJ. Like, for him to be very successful, he has to have the ball in his hands a lot. And I just don't think he's going to get those same opportunities if he was on the NBA team. But again, if 10 minutes won't hurt him, but it has to be against the right games. Like against the Wizards, I don't think he should have got 10 minutes because, the Wizards are a team we lost to last year. The Wizards they record wise, they're the number one team in the East, and this is a very must win game. So I didn't necessarily disagree with JB's decision without playing with not playing Book Night tonight.
The best thing that JB did, and I pointed this out, was not giving Hayward and Plumlee 30 minutes or more. They didn't deserve it. They were abysmal tonight. And I know people are talking about his hamstring. He did play. So I can't really make excuses. The mere fact that Cody Martin, who didn't score at all, gave it his all, and was efficient still, showed me something. This is the same Cody Martin that I made jokes about being a wonder twin, being a teacher's pet, and so forth. But he proved to everybody that he's important to the Hornets. See, when you're important to the Hornets and you're that dog, you won't see any of us over critiquing. Look at Oubre. He's been doing well. And that lineup, Drew, can you list the names of the players that's like the best lineup for the Hornets?
Are you talking about with PJ, or are you just talking about from tonight, or without PJ?
From tonight.
From tonight, the best lineup was definitely our small ball lineup that consisted of Miles Bridges, Jalen McDaniels, Kelly Oubre. It was either Kelly Oubre or Cody Martin, either one switchable. And then you got Terry Rozier and LaMelo Ball.
Right. That was something. Hey, we got 70 people in the chat. Please get it to 70 likes. Share the video if you haven't. HL Kid says, DJ, I think the coach told them to ice him out because the crowd forced him to put Jello in. There was a lot of politicking going on in the summer league. I think we all noticed that. When the fans were clamoring for Jello, and most coaches do this. If you're not a star, you know what I mean? Like high draft pick, get money. And you have a big fandom, coaches will sit players out so that it doesn't overtake what the team's mission is. You get what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Hey, he's got too much big fanfare. He's not a top pick. I don't want it to be a distraction. They usually bench players because of that. Now, they will never admit that to you guys. And this will never get out to old media because old media, they have an agenda. But this is how it goes. The reason why I don't complain about it, because I've seen the game. I know how they do things. And right, Thunder, Oubre didn't fit with the Thunder, but he fits with the Hornets.
Facts. He fits perfectly with the Hornets because, I'm not going to say it's because of their point guard, but I just think the Hornets are more of a younger team, and I not only on the court wise, but off the court wise, I just think a lot of their mentalities, I just think his mentality fits more with, LaMelo, Miles, Terry Rozier. He just fits in more, and he's getting a lot more open looks. He just looks a lot more comfortable than he did with the Warriors, taking shots. And he's been solid this year, man. I love what Oubre is doing off the bench, man. And like I said, that small ball lineup with him in it, and even when he started, the Hornets played really well. But that small ball lineup is something that's really effective, man. And I'm loving what Oubre is doing when he's on the floor.
Oh yeah, that small ball lineup. Every time I see it, I'm like, man, they got to do it more, man. Got to do it more. It's definitely the lineup that's number one, faster, more athletic, and just it energizes the team. Uh, Thunder says Bouknight didn't do it on purpose. Dude was supposed to be a top 7 pick, and he got motivated to prove the GMs wrong. I don't think he froze Jello on purpose. Yeah, and that's kind of similar to what I've stated. I don't think it was on purpose. I just think it was just he's from New York, and anybody on the comment section that's from New York, you know how New York ballers are. Like they'll find any motivation to put on a performance. It's kind of like Jordan. For those who don't know, Jordan was born in Brooklyn, lived there for a little bit, and then moved to North Carolina. So Jordan had that New York mentality of finding any motivation to perform. I just think that was the same case in the summer league where Bouknight was motivated. He was pissed off. He wanted to show the world that he was the best guard. But it wasn't. I don't think it was to slight Jello.
Yeah, it's that Rucker Park mentality, man. It's that New
Uh-huh.
York, Hooper, ego type of thing where, you think you can go out there and do it all 1-on-5. And that's basically how he played in the summer league. And overall, he did play pretty decently in the summer league. If you look at the stats, I mean, he wasn't that impressive to me. But you're definitely right. It's definitely that New York edge to James Bouknight.
You see this right here. Wait. Najir King, man, shout out to you, bro. He says Charlotte needs to call the dysfunctional Kings and grab Marvin Bagley. Man, the big man position for the Hornets is so bad. Anybody, Bagley, somebody.
Facts. And LaMelo would unlock Bagley's game. I mean,
Oh
I
yeah.
just feel like any young player that isn't as good as he would be on a team or as projected him to be, I just feel like if you put him on the Hornets with LaMelo Ball, I mean, I just think they're gonna be good. If it's Kelly Oubre,
Oh,
Marvin Bagley, whoever, man.
oh, definitely, man, definitely. Haji says Lonzo, Rondo, Rubio, Jalen Brunson are pass first guards. LaMelo is a modern day Penny Hardaway, forced to play like Tony Parker. Man, let the church say amen. Let the church say amen. You get it. You get what we're talking about. So the Hornets, they're obviously trying to make LaMelo be a pass first point guard when he is a hybrid point guard. And there's some games where they don't even let LaMelo be LaMelo. I'm not trying to be too hard on this coach, but I'm just calling how I see it. But once the Hornets get to play to LaMelo's strengths, that's when they'll unlock their potential.
Facts. And this past first point guard BS just needs to stop. I mean, even tonight, LaMelo Ball didn't have the best scoring night. He was going out there looking to facilitate and pass, and it was a pretty tough game. It was a little bit tougher than I expected it to be. It was a little bit tougher than I thought it would be. And looking at all the games this year, the Hornets are better when you have LaMelo Ball in that scoring mentality. And, he passes off of, the gravity that he creates with his scoring ability. So I just think that you have to play him more in a mode of a scoring point guard for this team to be truly effective. And obviously LaMelo's unselfish anyway, so it shouldn't be this pass first label. He's unselfish, but he's gonna make the right play. It doesn't matter about being pass first, whatever. But I mean, I just think scoring wise, when LaMelo's in the mentality to score the basketball, the Hornets are a better team out of that.
So, Jude, LaMelo shot 4 for 18. So that tells you enough that he was being aggressive. His shots weren't falling. So LaMelo made 5 of those shots. And let's say they're twos, right? That's 10 more points. That's 21 points.
Right.
Like the
Right.
floaters that he missed, he usually makes that. So LaMelo should have had 21 and 14. That tells you enough that he's not a pass first player. A pass first player on a bad game is shooting 2 for 10, ain't taking it to the basket, only shooting threes. That's what pass first point guards do when they're struggling.
Right. And another thing that didn't help him at all was the referees. I mean, he was being very aggressive and he wasn't getting a lot of calls. And a lot of this you could argue is minimal. But I mean, when you're going up in the air and somebody is, pushing you in the back while you're in the middle of mid-air, I mean, that's going to throw you off balance and that could potentially cause injury. So if the refs would have gave him a couple more calls and would have went to the free throw line, got his rhythm, man, we could have saw another 20-point game from LaMelo. But, it was kind of unlucky tonight, but he always bounces back when he has these scoring games like this. He'll be good.
Oh, yeah, he does. Let me see. Sean Brown said when Hayward and Plumlee are on the bench, the ball is moving more and the team is flowing. Oh, yeah, it's very noticeable. And even those who do not watch the Hornets know this. See, those two players, what I hate when I watch them, I'm going to start with Plumlee. Plumlee always telegraphs his passes. He's always looking for Hayward. And I'm starting to see it more, and it's getting very annoying. And then Gordon Hayward, he wants to slow the pace down. He's not very vocal like the other players on the team are. And when you're getting paid all that money, you got to step up. If you're not going to step up, Gordon Hayward, they need to find a way to trade you to a different team. I've said it multiple times. I would trade him for a bag of pork rinds.
Whoa.
I mean, golly, I don't want to go there, but it's just, you see what I'm saying, Jude, that Gordon Hayward, there may be a game where you have 20 against a subpar team and here and there, but I see what this team could be and the athletes they have.
Right.
I don't see a future in him. With
Facts. Facts. Totally agree. And it goes, I think it's both ways for Plumlee and Gordon Hayward. You need a young athletic big that can run the floor and that is athletic and that's not afraid to go up and try to finish over big guys, also not afraid to block shots. Same thing with at the wing position with Gordon Hayward. You want a young athletic guy that can run the floor with LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges, and dunk the ball at a high level, and just be younger and just play more in the fast break. So I just think they definitely do need to make some adjustments there. And the other thing I just don't like about Miles Plumlee is like, dude, you're right at the rim and you're allegedly 7 foot. Why are you taking 3-4 pump fakes before you go up, dude? Lay the ball up. I mean, it was one play where, dude, it's Denny Avdia. Like, Denny Avdia is not no 7-footer. He's a 6'7", sits. Go over him and dunk the ball. Lay the ball up. Nick Richards just did it, and he's like 21 years old. Miles Plumlee, you're a veteran, been in this league for years. Why are you not going up to lay the ball up? I mean, it's simple things, man, that Miles Plumlee is just like, he has these brain fart moments, and he should not be starting, man. Miles Plumlee should not be starting for this team if we want to be as good as we can be, man. I think we got to put Nick Richards in there or PJ Washington at the 5, which I would not be mad about either.
Man, I was dumbfounded. I'm like, why are you pump faking on smaller players, Plumlee? Hoping that they'll bite on that weak ass punk fake. Like, he pump faking to see, is he gonna jump? Is he gonna go? It's not working, brother, man. Like, the Hornets need a big man that can just yam it on these players, man. I mean, yam it. Like, when they catch the ball mid-air, they're getting out the way. Like, that's what they need to have.
Facts. Mason. I'm sorry. Mason Plumlee. I keep getting them confused, bro. I'm going to just say Bumlee from now on because he's playing like a bum out there. Mason Bumlee, man, he's nowhere to be found. He did have 12 rebounds tonight, so finally he did rebound the ball at a high level, but still, you can just tell he doesn't fit this team to a T.
Bro, what do you think about Kristaps Porzingis? Because that was mentioned by the brother HL Kid.
That would make the Hornets one of the best teams in the East. I mean, he'd be perfect. And again, he's another player, a young player that I think LaMelo Ball could unlock. I don't care if Porzingis has played with Luka Doncic or whatever. LaMelo Ball would unlock Kristaps Porzingis, and I mean, he would fit this team perfectly. I mean, if he can stay healthy, he's exactly what this team needs. Can shoot threes, can also block shots, and He's not a crazy, locker room problem or anything like that. So I think, Kristaps could be a very great addition to this team.
Yeah, and I'm already impressed with LaMelo, what he's done with Kelly Oubre, and they were telling me Kelly Oubre, and I've even believed this because of the perception of him being in the Suns and the Warriors and not really panning out. Oh, this is not good, but he's kind of LaMelo's kind of upped his game more, and that's what he does. And I get it. Porzingis played with Luka, but these are two different players. Luka Doncic is a dual forward, like I said. He's a dual forward with point guard abilities. They're calling everybody in their mama a point guard, bro. If you handle the
Everybody.
ball and pass it good enough, you're a point guard. But what
Facts.
LaMelo does, that's what real point guards look like.
Right.
Jonathan Williams says Porzingis gets hurt too much. That's the only problem, really.
Right. Totally agree. If he can stay healthy, I mean, it's perfect.
Nazir King says, I think there's a clause, Gordon Hayward contract, that we can't get rid of Mason.
Let's get rid of both of them, man. I mean, come on. Let's go.
But like, your ass could go too, Plumlee.
Right. Hey, right rap go reloaded. Luka Doncic is a lot more ball dominant, and he's going to force a lot more shots than LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball is actually going to let the offense flow, and he'll let Kristaps Porzingis get a lot more opportunities in the post one-on-one, a lot more pick and roll opportunities to get easy baskets. I mean, for sure. Like, it's not going to be just, Kristaps Porzingis, go stand in the corner and Luka's going to do his thing at the top of the key, and you're going to wait to get the ball. It's not going to be those things. It's going to be a lot more player movement with Kristaps Porzingis on and off the ball.
Oh, yeah. That's what it's going to look like. And Osmond says, no. One more thing that I don't like about Plumlee. He can't shoot free throws. He's shooting 30%. Oh, man. He looked like Ben Wallace. Y'all remember Ben Wallace free throws?
Oh. Bro, my grandma shoot free throws better than Mason Plumlee. Like, it's terrible, man. I wouldn't be surprised if she can go out there and at least hit one. Like, this dude is terrible, bro.
Hey, y'all remember that grandpa shot, shooting it underhand? Plumlee shoot that free throws.
Man, he need to try something. Him and LaMelo need to be in there, man. And LaMelo need to give him a couple tips because LaMelo been one of the best free throw shooters in the league this year.
Oh yeah, he is. And I just hope and wish that the NBA will call those fouls. LaMelo Ball is getting roughed up in the paint. And I'm saying to myself, I thought the 90s and early 2000s were over, but only with LaMelo, it's not.
Right. And I thought a lot what they were doing, I thought they were trying to, clean up a lot of the flopping. I mean, LaMelo Ball doesn't flop a lot. Like, a lot of the things that's happening to him is, getting pushed in the back with an elbow while he's midair. Like, those are things that will get him seriously injured. So the NBA definitely needs to look into some film, man, the referees.
It's not even fair. Now, it's not, again, like, you're spot on. LaMelo's not even reaching for fouls. He's not trying to beg for fouls when he drives to the basket. And he still doesn't get a call.
Facts.
Blood Dog said, I swear, if y'all start talking about trade for Cat, Karl Anthony Towns, that is, I'm going to spaz out. Well, you want him on the team or not?
This team, I don't want to say they'll be the best team in the East. I think it'll be the Nets, but they're up there with anybody if they get Cat and you keep Miles Bridges and you got LaMelo, Miles Bridges, Cat.
Say what you want about Karl Anthony Towns, but in the Eastern Conference, especially with the Hornets, he could pick and pop. He's strong. He's athletic. Man, he would average 25 or more points per game. Guaranteed. That pick and roll with him and LaMelo, and I know what they're going to say. They're going to say, but he's playing with Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is a scoring two guard. He's not a point guard, so it doesn't, you know what I mean?
Right. Anthony Edwards won't complement Karl Anthony Towns' game like LaMelo Ball would, because LaMelo Ball takes guys' game and he brings it to another level. So I think if Cat was on the Hornets, man, he'll play at a career high type of level.
Oh,
But yeah,
man.
he is soft. He is kind of soft, but I mean, he's not the leader of this team. LaMelo Ball is the leader of this team, so I wouldn't necessarily be worried about that.
Yeah, if you get Karl Anthony Towns, you're not asking him to be the leader. The leader's already LaMelo. Now, they may say Terry Rozier. Terry Rozier, he's good in the fourth quarter, but as you saw today in the fourth quarter, LaMelo controlled the whole pace, controlled the whole team, and the reason why they won. Those 14 assists, he was conducting out there, brother.
Facts.
Conducting. Oh, man, yeah. JG says, can we talk about Lonzo going to the rack aggressively?
People really like Lonzo here, man. They love Lonzo.
The Zoes, shout out to the Zoes. Y'all should have won that game tonight.
Yep. That's what happened when you play hero ball down the stretch and you don't call plays. And I think Billy Donovan is a good coach, but he has to man up and when Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan are taking these bad shots and messing up the flow of the offense, you have to get other players involved because Lonzo was playing good the whole game, and he should have had a couple more plays called for him throughout the game. But the hero ball is what really messed them up, man. And they fell asleep a couple times on defense, man. So Billy Donovan got to do a little bit of a better job getting this team prepared.
Yeah, and Billy Donovan has done an excellent job this season. And I've always said that I wish that that the Hornets had a Billy Donovan as a coach. And, oh my God, the minutes LaMelo would get. But Lonzo was assertive tonight. Lonzo was not the reason why they lost to the Portland Trailblazers. The only thing Lonzo did wrong, he should have been this assertive in the third quarter. In the third quarter, I don't know if y'all realize he was passive. In the fourth quarter, then he turned it on. The whole team was passive and taking bad shots. But I also want Lonzo to do this. When you see your teammates taking bad shots and ball hogging, I know you don't want to do this, brother. But it's okay to be vocal.
Facts.
And tell them, hey, this is not winning basketball. We can't go far doing this shit. See, one thing about LaMelo, he's starting to learn this too. He spoke up. When LaMelo spoke up about not getting enough minutes, you started to see LaMelo get more minutes now. He had 36, 37, 38 the other night. Tonight he had 37.
Right.
30 plus, 30 plus, 30 plus. Lonzo, I know you're not hearing this video, but if you did, listen to what I'm saying. I know LaVine and DeRozan are your boys, but it's not always on the coach to be vocal. You got to want to be vocal because a coach is only seeing a few things. He's not seeing the chemistry and all that. He's just trying to X's and O's and trying to create winning plays. But that's the chemistry thing you guys got to work out. And again, I know you guys are LA guys, you were California guys, Zoe, LaVine, and DeRozan. But in the NBA, it's a man's game, and sometimes you got to yell at a motherfucker to let it be known.
Right. Totally agree. And I mean, usually, I just think it's something where Lonzo Ball has to get more comfortable with the vocal thing and get comfortable becoming more of a coach on the floor. And he'll learn in situations where, guys are taking bad shots and, everybody isn't getting involved in the offense. I think he'll learn eventually that, I need to have the ball in my hands or I need to be able to set everybody up so we can get easier looks because that was the one thing that they missed down the stretch versus the Blazers. I mean, even though Damian Lillard hasn't been the same Dame, he didn't have a great shooting night. We saw he was creating a lot of opportunities, a lot of open opportunities for his teammates, and it won them the game. And I just think Lonzo Ball, in a certain way, he has to be able to take the ball out of certain guys' hands and set up easier opportunities for LaVine, for DeMar DeRozan. To me, the ISO ball is what lost them the game, and I think a lot of the blame falls on Billy Donovan for not calling plays down the stretch. But Lonzo Ball is the point guard, so you are totally right about that, DJ. When guys are doing ISO ball, hero ball things, Be vocal. That's a bad shot, man. Give up the ball. Let's move the ball. Say certain things so we can get everybody going and get everybody on the same page. So I definitely agree with you on that point about Lonzo, man. Yo, DJ, I think you're on mute. Hello?
Nasir King, thank you for the super chat, my brother. $2 super chat, that is. He said, shout out to DJ for giving people what they need. Oh, yeah, giving that raw truth that everybody deservedly needs. Both things are true, brother. Billy Donovan in this game, I hate saying this because Billy Donovan has done an excellent job. But tonight, the hero ball took over, and it cost them the game. They did everything right in that first half. They played a small ball lineup, and that small ball lineup that the Bulls do is very dangerous to opposing teams. They went away from it, and then they started taking horrible shots, and that helped the Portland Trailblazers get confidence.
Facts. That small ball was working, man. Derrick Jones Jr., even though he had a lot of fouls in the first half, the small ball lineup just allows them defensively to be way better when it comes to, help defense and rotations. They're a lot quicker. They play a lot more smarter, especially with Caruso out there, who's, top 3 in steals off the bench. So their defense is a lot better small ball wise. And then I like their, when Billy Donovan is calling plays, I do like how they're running their offense as well when they're going small. So the small ball lineup is very effective. I mean, the Hornets and the Bulls probably are the two best, or I ain't gonna say the Warriors. I forgot about the Warriors. Other than the Warriors, the Hornets and the Bulls probably have the two, best small ball lineups in the NBA, in my opinion. So I don't think that's really an argument right there, but y'all can fact check me on that.
That's right. Rap God says, DJ, what's going on with your Lakers? Man, it seemed like the whole team was in the upper room. It's looking like a funeral out there. But really, Westbrook is not fitting in with this team. Now, when he was younger, he made dumb plays. But right now, he's making dumber plays. And you can see it on LeBron's face. He's like, man, what did I sign myself up to? Oh, man.
It made no sense.
They said Russell Westbrook was on Shaq and the Fool today. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I mean, the Lakers, I think they'll be all right when they get LeBron back, but Russell Westbrook, man, he's just not it. I'm sorry. I don't think he can. I don't think the Warriors to me are just clearly better, man, than the Lakers, even if they had LeBron. So I don't think Westbrook's it.
And for the Lonzo fans, y'all gonna like this. Y'all gonna like this. What I'm about to say. The Lakers are better off with Lonzo Ball than Russell Westbrook. Now, Russell Westbrook will put the stats. I get that. But what they really need, they need Alonzo for this team. Because they got
Right.
too many people wanting the ball, and they need somebody that can just ain't really caring about stats.
Right.
The Lakers are 8-8 right now. Mm-mm-mm.
How about my Knicks? Hey, the Hornets. Hey, we just beat the Knicks, man. The Knicks they're looking very suspect right now. I mean, Julius Randle isn't playing on that same all-star level that he did last year. Kemba Walker isn't the same Kemba Walker that he was on the Hornets. So the Knicks aren't as good as they were last year. I mean, they're a solid team, but yeah, the Lakers and the Knicks, I don't know. I don't know what it is about the Lakers and the Knicks, man. They're just not good this year, or not that good.
If you're the Knicks, man, you cannot lose to no Orlando Magic that's rebuilding. They rebuilding so bad. Cole Anthony, he gets all the shots he wants. That's when you know when you're a losing team. He shot 5 for 21. He took 21 shots tonight. They still got the win. That's unacceptable. RJ Barrett, brother, man, they've been trying to hype you up. I know you had inefficient 17 points, but you got to get more than that. 0 for 7 on 3, not taking smart shots, not really providing much else. Julius Randle, you got to do more than 13 points. That he didn't rebound enough, and I was flipping off, different games, bro. And the Knicks, man, If you're gonna tell me they're gonna be 8-7 right now, they got to clean it up. Was he on mute? Oh, he got Jew. I think got Yeah, Jew got disconnected. Prince P says 5 for 21. Sheesh. Oh yeah, it was bad. Dressbrook. Oh man, that's the first time I heard of that. Dressbrook. And Vogel turned the championship favorite into a playing squad. Man, it's sad what I'm seeing. What's good, Xavier? Peace and blessings, my brother. We got almost 80 people in the chat. Let's get it up to 80 likes. Let's get it up to 80 likes. So Jew's almost in. Let me know when you're in, Jew. Man, this connection is tripping. Nazir King says Knicks starters have the worst plus minus in the NBA. The Knicks bench has the best. Man, you went there. The Knicks bench is saving the Knicks this season. You there, Juju?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. The Knicks, bro, have you seen Tom Thibodeau literally plays his bench to end out the fourth quarter, man? Like
Oh yeah.
that's how like I think he was damn near came out and said that the Knicks bench looks better than the whole starting lineup. So I mean, yeah, the Knicks arguably have the best bench in the league. So I'll give you that. But I mean, they're not the Hornets, they're not the Bulls. I mean, they're a eighth seed, ninth seed, but they'll be good. They're definitely better than the Knicks of before, where they had like Jose Calderon starting at point guard and stuff like that. So I'll give you that.
And Kemba Walker, man, you got to average more than 13 points, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds, man. You got to do more than that. He's not really providing anything.
Oh, I love that idea. Trading for Valanciunas would be perfect for this team. A rebounder, a guy that, I mean, he's not great moving his feet on the perimeter, but he just gives you a lot more offensively and defensively than Miles or Mason Plumlee. So that would be perfect. And I don't even think we would have to give up a ton to get him. I mean, a PJ Washington or Gordon Hayward, I mean, that might be enough to get him.
Oh yeah, that's Valanciunas is what you call your standard starting center. See, a Plumlee is a reserve center, so he's not really your standard center. So putting Valanciunas in, who's a better center, stronger, strong hands, he can finish. Oh man, I mean, where did they sign up? do that
Facts.
trail. We do that trade right now.
Facts.
Blunt Dog says, "Get the likes up for my brother DJ. He definitely deserves it. Show love and respect." You know what's weird about YouTube the past couple of days? Like Drew, you've been understanding YouTube, right? It's like a science. So when I have 80 people in here, right? You would think if I talk for an hour or 3 hours, that's what? No, an hour and a half, that's what, almost 1,000, 2,000 views.
Right.
But it's been tripping. I don't know what's going on.
Man, they hating, man. They see us putting out this raw truth, man, and
Man.
they going against the grain right now. But they can't stop. They can't stop a moving train when it's already in motion. So you already know how we
Yeah,
come.
it's all love though. Cause you know why? Because the people who are on the panel, and we got a good sized number tonight. This is late night. Some of the folks are in the East Coast. They're tuning in because they're tired of watching old media and this sensationalizing, not providing facts, going off feelings, going off because it's this, then we have to go by their word. Just like when you hear people talk about JB. Now, there's times where I critique JB, but I give him credit when he does well. But there's folks who seem to tell themselves just because JB says it means it's honest to God truth, and that's not true at all. He can be wrong just like anybody else can be wrong.
Facts. He was
Thunder.
one of those players that said LaMelo. He didn't even think LaMelo would be as good as he was. So I mean,
Oh, I remember that. I remember that. Thunder says, DJ, there was a time when they completely turned off my notifications of your channel. Man, they doing some weird stuff, man. They doing some weird stuff. But we're gonna keep doing our thing though. Cause this doesn't stop, man. Everybody putting in work. Not only my channel, but Juju's channel, Flight's channel, the Pope, everybody else, man. Y'all subscribe to the channels and show love. And they're playing against, meaning the Hornets, the Pacers. What do you want to see from the Hornets playing the Pacers that you think that they could get a win? Like, how do they need to be playing to get a W?
I think it has to be sort of how it was in the second half, the first game against the Pacers, where we were down a lot. And they started off really good against us, and it was the first game of the season, and you could tell we were playing lethargic and we were out of sync. So I think for starters, we got to attack the or we got to attack the glass much better than we did that first game. I mean, Sabonis and Miles Turner, they purely out rebounded us. They got a lot of second chance points, and that was a lot of the reason why they were killing us in the first half. Sabonis was killing us in the paint. So our rotations on defense, our help defense on Sabonis and Miles Turner, because we are undersized against this team, has to be up to par. So I would say, rotations on defense, attacking the glass, and having an identity on offense. I mean, that was one of the other things at the first game of the season against the Pacers in the first half. We didn't really have an identity on offense. We also was missing Terry Rozier, so I think that will be a good addition. But play through LaMelo Ball, play through our point guard, and I think we should win this game because we're clearly a better team than the Pacers.
Yeah, they must win this game. And the Eastern Conference, once you get past 3, it's all a kerfuffle. It's all close. They got to get on another win streak because they had a couple of losses in that Western Conference trip they took. So they got to get some wins. But I'm confident if they do what they did today, great things will happen. HL Kid said, facts, DJ. We get the real deal on the underground network. The old media want to hand feed the bees and expect us to take it. That time has passed. It has passed. This is a renaissance going on right now. These YouTube channels is the new wave, it's the future, and they're seeing it. That's why they're interns. They go on these YouTube channels and they research on every YouTuber. Bro, there's times when I go on, look on Sports Center, they're saying things that I've said on my channel, or other YouTubers have said on their channel. I was watching an NFL game a couple of weeks ago. Somebody mentioned the upper room, like in a term of, that player's just in the upper room. I'm like, wait a minute, I haven't heard that, like in a sports term. I've never heard it in a sports term.
All right, and if you notice, Sports Center and a lot of ESPN. Well, a lot of what they're doing now is using YouTube a lot more. I mean, they go live on YouTube now and have these little, YouTube live streams now all of a sudden. So it seems like they're taking a little bit of a drip, you know what I'm saying, DJ? But hey, you can't beat the creator of this, man, because DJ, you a legend in this, man. You one of the first people to really do this on the underground wave. So everybody got to pay homage to you, man. So like, what they, just like how you said, they say in upper room, we know they listening right now. We know y'all listening.
Oh, it's flattering. That's why I don't get mad about it. I just chuckle. I laugh because I'm like, man, y'all can't even be creative in your own stuff. That's why I came up with that term, the interns, quote unquote, the interns, because they watching these streams. Let me read some more. Haji says, DJ, thoughts on Anthony Edwards so far this season? Can't wait for the Hornets to play against the Wolves. Anthony Edwards has been balling. I mean, he's looking like an all-star right now. It just sucks that the Wolves are not winning at that level. Now they're doing better. Right. Well, let me see. They're 5-9. They just beat the lowly Kings, but they need to step it up. But Anthony Edwards is averaging 20 plus a game.
Right. Yeah. Anthony Edwards is definitely Anthony Edwards is definitely much improved than he was last year. His scoring output is higher than it was last year. I'm still seeing a lot of the similar efficiency issues from last season as well. Other than, he did have that 40-some point game this year, but we're still seeing a lot of the efficiency issues. But yeah, he's definitely proved that he's gotten better this year. I also want to see a little bit more of team impact, in terms of, the team winning because of his scoring. I need to see a bit more of that. But all in all, yeah, Anthony Edwards has definitely improved this year.
No, he has. HL Kiss at Facts, DJ. I seen that too. I was thinking the same thing. Oh my God. You seen that too? That's exactly. I was like, wow. But hey, man, it's the game he content creating, and I'm sure when he makes a video, because everybody makes a video, bro, that that's just gonna go viral, and then somebody else is gonna make one. You be like, man, that's just like my video. But the good thing about YouTube, and I make a complaint about it time to time. It's like you build a community of people that just like, whether you want to talk sports or talk about cartoons or talk about politics or talk about anything, there's always a group you could talk to on social media, and that's what the good tools of YouTube. That's what it's for. Prince P says Ant got the keys. That's really the difference. You answered it for me. He's taken a lot of shots. A lot of shots. And I see why he averages 20 plus, because he has the ultimate green light right now.
Right.
Blood Dog says, where did Tay Bay and Airbnb come from?
I think that was Eric Collins. Didn't Airbnb come from Eric
No,
Collins?
it's sarcastic. It came from me. I came up with that name.
Tay Bay and Airbnb?
Yeah, that came from me.
Oh my gosh. I did not know that myself.
Yep, it did. For those in the channel, remember that day when I made up Airbnb because we had at the time when I was cool with 3-point conversion, I had him on the show. The bald headed glasses guy, Raphael
Ralph.
Haynes. Yeah.
Right.
And he was like, what do you think the name should be? I said, well, Airbnb. And
Wow. Wow, I did not know that, bro. Because that
yeah,
went viral.
because LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges. Remember, LaMelo didn't even. Here's the not funny part. Here's the crazy part, bro. When LaMelo was asked about Airbnb, this is when he didn't like the nickname. A certain YouTuber, this big platform, was like, I guess he doesn't like that nickname, knowing it came from me. I was like, okay. And then months later, bro, LaMelo said, yeah, I'm getting used to that name. So it stuck. Because the reason why LaMelo got used to that name is because it was marketable. Airbnb.
Facts. And it's better than whatever he said. He said MB times 2 or whatever he
Yeah,
said. That definitely.
Yeah, that was never gonna fly by right there. That was
Yeah, that
never
was trash.
LaMelo's, but that was corny. Yeah,
Yeah, that was trash.
MB square or something like that. I'm like, man.
Hey, but DJ, speaking of Airbnb, it looks like Airbnb is going to be all-stars this year.
It looks like it, man. But man, there are gonna be so many haters, dog. When those two become all stars, LaMelo being the first in the family to be an all star, boy, I'm making a video on that shit.
Oh, that's his story right there. First in the family. Oh, damn.
Oh, Gina, you was definitely in there. You was in the comment section. I remember you in there. She says Airbnb most definitely came from DJ. I remember it way back when he said it first.
Mm-mm.
And someone said Eric Collins said Tay Bay. If he said that, you know they watch my channel.
I think I did hear him say. They definitely
He
said that
said
before.
that.
I might have to double check, but it feels like you said that, bro.
There's a lot of people tell me. HL Kid said, man, talk to him, DJ, the real know the truth. But what? I'm not trying to, I'm a humble guy. I don't like to pull on my own cape. But sometimes I feel like just being like, sometimes you got to brag on yourself. Everybody got to. You don't want to be walking around, moping around saying, whoa, it's me. Sometimes you got to say I'm the baddest.
Facts.
The top dog. Just like Juju when he does edits. If Juju says I'm the top of the game when it comes to editing and putting ball content in a different light, he has the right to say that. He's putting up views, he's putting up stuff. But I love it though. I love it because, and thank you for the flowers, because this is what it's all about, man. Not even just me. It's about everybody growing, man. That's why nobody should trip about who got subs and if they got the same. Don't they realize if you got the same subs, everybody wins? I'm gonna give you an example. If I had 1 million subs of the same people, and you have 1 million subs of the same people, and somebody else does it, somebody else, is it really going to change much? No.
Nope. We all eat.
Exactly. And that's what they don't want. That's what the game within a game doesn't want. They don't want content creators doing what we're doing, because it will take away power from them. Wait, Najee King says, Cat don't like Ant. You seen him play against the Clippers. Was ISO dribbling, and Cat walked towards the half court.
Yeah, Cat will definitely like playing with LaMelo Ball because he'll get fed like a big baby over there in Charlotte, man. He'll definitely be doing this thing. Hey, and DJ, looks like, a couple of my predictions might come through. The Hornets look like they could, be that fifth seed, even with a lot of their holes and weaknesses, when JB is actually giving LaMelo Ball the leeway to go out there and make mistakes and still give him his minutes, it seems like they can pull out a lot of these tough games. So, they could be eventually maybe even higher than that, because, the Wizards are number 1 in the East right now, and I think they'll fall off a little bit. So the Hornets look like they can be in that 4th, 5th, 6th seed type of mode. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Man, if that happens, man, we're giving you flowers, bro. I won't be mad. I want that. This is the only time I want to be wrong in sports. I don't want the Hornets to be no 9th seed and play a playing game and get they tails drummed in like they did last year against the Pacers. I don't want to see that shit.
Hey, the funnest thing in basketball would definitely be if the Hornets and the Bulls play the first round, because right now that's what it's looking like in the standings. You got the Bulls at number 4. You got the Hornets at number 5. So, man, that would be crazy first round.
I'm looking at the standings right now, just like that. The Hornets are the 5th seed.
Yep. 4-game winning streak, man, made a big difference, bro. And it sucks because, when we first started off our West Coast road trip, we were losing a couple games to the Kings and even to the Clippers that arguably we should have won. Those should have been winnable games. And for us to, have our perseverance and still be fighting against, the Warriors and the Wizards, some of the hottest teams in the league, and come out with wins, man. The Hornets fans and Melo'Holics and everybody that support the Hornets, man, we got to be proud of this team right now, man.
Gotta be. Shout out to Wealth Engineering. How you doing, my brother? Najee King with the comment that is very interesting. DJ, the way Melo takes things personal. Watch LaMelo drop 35 next game and say, pass first that. Oh, man. You're catching on. These interviews, Jew. Like when they say pass first, and it's like they're trying to throw that message out so that hopefully it sticks, and they want LaMelo to be pass first. They got to give it a break.
Right. Sorry, my bad, DJ.
No, my bad. You were going to say something.
Oh, well, all I was going to say was, yeah, it seems like they're trying to speak this into existence and mold him into something that he's not, man. It kind of reminds me of like a Lonzo Ball situation where Lonzo Ball, like, you're a 3-and-D player. We're gonna play you like a 3-and-D player, even though you're a point guard. LaMelo Ball, you're a pass first point guard, even though we know you can score 25 points a game. So I don't know why these coaches aren't looking at the Ball brothers and seeing them for what they are, because like we agreed to earlier multiple times, LaMelo Ball is not just a pass first point guard.
No, he's not, man. He's a hybrid, and he's gonna pass you the ball if you're open. He's all about the flow of the game, and he's one of one. At the end of the day, he's one of one. But man, this has been great, man. Let me read. HL Kid said DJ always out brothers on. Wait. Pretty much DJ always shows love with brothers. No hate. That's why we respect you. Hey man, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, man. Building, 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 building. But Jude, any last words before we head out?
Yeah, man. I just want to. I appreciate you, DJ. Man, you already know you're a legend in the community. You already know, man. You my OG. I always looked up to you for years now since you started your YouTube. So for me to be up here, talking with you about basketball, bro, it's like a dream come true. So I really appreciate you having me up here. Appreciate everybody in the chat, man. You already know Headlock Gang, man. Meloholic, stand up. Let's get it. Big dub today, 4-game winning streak, man. Let's keep this positivity going all week and this week for the rest of the season. Let's get this dub against Indiana, man. I really appreciate everybody here, man. Love y'all, man.
Man, Jude, Jude gonna talk his, and deservedly so. Jude gonna talk his ish all day. If they win against the Pacers too, man, Jude, man, you be going these channels,
Sir.
man. They expect you to go off. Like,
Yeah.
oh, Jude in here. About to go.
Yeah, man. Because it's funny because DJ, bro, it was 2 months ago when it was the summer and, before the season started, I was arguing my heart out for, the Hornets and LaMelo and a lot of these things that's going around in the NBA. Even Miles Bridges winning most improved player. So for, some of these things happening, bro, I just invest so much of my heart into it, man. I just love basketball so much, man.
You know what's crazy, man? You gonna like what I'm about to say here. The Bulls have a better overall roster of depth. I mean, they got Levine and everybody else. The Bulls are 10-5. The Hornets are 9-7. None of us would have guessed that.
Yep.
Now, Jew did. Jew had them as a 5th seed. It's crazy that the Hornets, who had a tougher schedule. Now, I'm not saying the Bulls had a weak schedule, but it wasn't a cakewalk, but it wasn't a tough schedule coming out. For the Hornets to be
Shoot, talking about at the
9-7,
beginning?
right? Beginning was, yeah, it was a cakewalk at the beginning for the Bulls. But for the Hornets to be 9-7 right now, that's really impressive.
Facts. Arguably should be better, man. We lost games to teams that we should have beat, like the Cavs and the Kings and even the Clippers. So I'm very impressed and I'm very happy with how the season is going thus far.
To be honest, shoot, the Hornets are supposed to be 12-4. That's just what I think.
Yep.
They're supposed to be 12-4.
Yep. It was a bunch of games, DJ, that we had the lead going into the fourth quarter,
Lost
specifically against the Boston Celtics. What you say, DJ? My bad.
No, I'm adding on to the Boston Celtics and many teams, man. This. But before I go, I want to say, everybody,
Facts.
man, y'all show love to everybody, man, and live every day like it's your last. Young Dolph died, as you all know.
Hey, man. Man. R.I.P. Dolph, man. That's tough. R.I.P.
And we got to stop all this hate.
Prayers for his family.
Pray for his family, his wife, his kids, his loved one, his mama, grandma, all of them. Pray for Key Glock. I know he's going through it right now. and pray for the city of Memphis, because this brother has always donated. He always gave turkeys to the families, back to school initiatives, done it all. And we gotta show love to each other and stop all this hating, man. There's so much life to live to be hating on someone and taking someone's life. We gotta be better than that. We gotta be
Right.
congratulators and not haters. And if we do that, maybe we can have world peace.
Yep. And
So
the thing that sucks about the Young Dolph situation is it happened in his own hometown, like where he grew up, the people he grew up around. That's the thing that sucks, man, is these rappers, man, they get killed while being in their own hometown. And man, I really feel bad about the whole situation, man. I really been down all day about it because I listen to a lot of Young Dolph, man. A lot of guys my age where I'm from listen to Young Dolph. So man, RIP him, man. Sucks.
are you from the South, right?
Yeah, I live in Georgia.
Georgia. Oh yeah, GA in the house. Yeah, I'm from Houston, so
Georgia.
Georgia on my mind. Hey, Jew, man.
Oh man.
HL Kid, man, you so right about Jew. He said, to be real, Juju got a gift at this YouTube stuff. Bro, don't stop doing your thing, bro. I respect you. Work, my guy. Yeah, man, you have something here. You have a gift, brother Jew. And, I'm always there. Like, if you ever need anything, and I truly believe Juju's channel in due time, and I'm not saying this because I'm cool with Juju. I've always told him this, that he has the potential to have his channel to the 50K to 100K subs. As long as you operate in good conscience, brother, good things will happen. I truly believe that.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate all that, man. Appreciate you, HL Kid. You my OG. Appreciate you, dog.
Right, man. But in respects to and a tribute to the passing of Young Dolph, I played this video before, but I'm going to play it again. And I'm about to head out, man. Y'all have a blessed day.